Hey peeps, I'm back again, and this time we're back with another orchid rescue video. Yes, I know it's been quite a while since I've managed to do a rescue video. I think well over a year now. So I've basically been plodding along with my refugees up there, the thrivers and survivors. I got a couple of stragglers, but you know, it's really quite uneventful. They're very slow with progressing, so yeah, there's only so much I can do with what I have. So today I actually got 2 new rescues from work, and they're severely dehydrated, neglected, and by the looks of it, the medium has really seen better days. So I jumped on the opportunity and I brought them home, and the bonus was they are actually colours I don't have. So I hope they survive so I can finally have my yellow orchid. So yes, the first orchid that I have, let's see if I can bring the camera down so you can see. So you can see straight away that it is very thirsty. The leaves are quite wrinkly. It's showing signs that it needs a drink. See, you can see it all under there. That's all signs that you need to give your orchid some more water, because it's thirsty as heck. It's got another leaf coming through there, but other than that, it really doesn't look all too happy. It looks very dry, and I think there's going to be quite a lot that I'm going to need to cut back, remove, tidy up, obviously treat for bugs, because I'm not sure if this has brought any hitchhikers with it. So I'm just going to treat it, get some ventilation holes in the pot, refresh the medium, tidy the orchid up and give it a good drink. And you can watch me do parts of that. You don't need to see me do the whole thing, because yeah, you know, I've already made videos about that. So if you really want to know how it's done, you can just go back and watch some of those older videos, or you know, throw me a question and maybe I can answer something I haven't already answered, or if you just want to see me do it again, I can always do it again, whatever you prefer. So this is orchid number 1, and I would say he was definitely the worst one of the 2. So, and let's see, it says Nebula Hale, so it's a Nebula yellow orchid. So I'm not sure what that's going to look like exactly, aside from an orchid and yellow, but you know, maybe it has extra colouring, maybe it has veins, maybe it's light, maybe it's dark, I don't know. But that's all part of the nice surprise with these rescues. You don't quite know what you're getting. And then the second one, it's granted it's a little more healthier, dehydrated nonetheless. What they told me was they're the kind of people that buy these things because they like to look at them and they forget to water them, and then every so often they're like, oh shit, the plant needs water, and they give them water and then they forget again for God knows how long. And yeah, this is kind of the result. I mean, the roots at a glance look okay, a little dry, but I think this one looks very hopeful for bouncing back, and it's also very pot bound as well. So when you see this as well, it's generally time to refresh the pot, and the next size up will do. You don't want to go too big, because orchids like to have some sort of restriction, but not too much. You know, obviously when it's doing this, it's too small, so you need to just take the pot size up one. And the sticker on this one says a Bidans Calate. It's also a yellow one, so Baldens Calidos. I don't know. It's also a yellow one. It's also thirsty, but it's in slightly better state. So again, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take it out in the pot I'm going to just tidy things up, take off all this like dead and dry stuff, and get ventilation holes in these pots, and get some fresh bark in there, give it some water, and maybe a good dose of some fertilizer, because I think these poor little guys could really, really use the love. So I'm gonna just pause the video for a little while I do that, and when we come back you'll be able to see what these guys look like once I've done some tidying up. Well, actually no, I'm just going to pull these out of the pot so you can see what they look like, and then I'm going to pause the video. So let's start this one. Well, maybe I should actually get a tray first, so I'm going to pause and back in a minute. And I'm back. So it's the only one I can find. It's handy, but it's a little big. But it will catch. Let's just adjust this camera a little bit, so you can see a bit better. Try to do as little damage to the roots as possible, but I don't think this is gonna be unavoidable. My scissors. I'm sorry. These are really, there's no way I am going to be able to pull these through the pot and not do more damage, so unfortunately I'm going to have to cut off these beautiful healthy roots sticking through the bottom, but yeah, they would have been destroyed anyway. So he'll grow more. It's well and truly moulded to the shape of the pot, and it actually smells quite bad as well. Ooh. Here we go. You guys can get a good look at the state of the roots. It's just so dry. There's not a drop of moisture in this at all. And just, oh, it smells so bad. Okay. So, yeah, even when the wood chip has been taken out, there's just, yeah, it's it's still maintaining the pot shape. There's, yeah, let's just get these last bits off. So always try to take off as much of the old bark as possible. You don't want any nasty, icky stuff in your beautiful new cotton medium. Okay, so I'm actually seeing quite a few nice roots. I mean, there's some that have very little substance to them, but there's not many that are completely gone. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tidy this up, and then I will show you what it looks like once all this is tidy and the dead stuff is taken away. So one last look of the before shot. Okay, and I'm all done tidying it up. So I've removed all the old dry spikes that were out the bottom here. I've taken off some of the less healthy and dead roots, and as you can see there's still a good root system on here. So I'm just going to grab my handy dandy spray, and this is for like pests and mealybugs and scale and mites and aphids. Yeah, so this is basically a good all-in-one orchid spray for pests, just to make sure that it's not carrying anything undesirable that can transfer to any of my plants and orchids here. I'm going to, well, usually if you see fungus or mold, or if it was an overwatering issue, I would recommend using some hydrogen peroxide and just letting that sit and letting it fizz and letting it do its thing for the antifungus. But this isn't an overwatering problem, this is an underwatering problem, and I have seen no signs of mold or any water damage of any sorts, just lack of water. So I don't think this needs an antifungus treatment. So I'm just going to treat it for bugs, and then we can get it into its new pots. Okay, so while we're waiting for the other orchid to dry off and callus over, we're going to take a look at this guy and see how bad the damage is on him. He's not root bound, which is a good sign. But, oh, wow. Optimal care of the orchid. Yeah, it's not really been optimal. Okay, so it just falls off. It just, oh gosh. It still actually has the little peat basket that it was propagated in at the nursery. Oh dear. It's such a shame people really don't look after their plants better. I guess it wouldn't be a booming industry if everyone did, so still a shame. Now this one, this one looks like it has some healthy roots, but a lot of them do look and feel just completely dead. So do a closer look. So there are some roots with substance. You can see here and here. It's a little wrinkly, but it's definitely alive. It's definitely green. This one here is a little flat, and it feels like it's starting to go mushy. So I'm going to remove those. And of course these ones here that are just completely beyond anything, they just snap. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and remove those, and then you guys can see what this guy looks like once he's a bit tidy. And yeah, okay, so back in a minute. We're back. So that took a little longer than I thought. It's actually darker now, so I'm really sorry. The light in this area is not that good. I've actually got my lamp on, but yeah, I think the quality of the video isn't going to look as pretty as it did when it was lighter outside. But anyway, you can see me, you can see the orchids. That's the main thing. So I've sterilised and cleaned and drilled the holes in these pots, so they're ready to be filled with fresh chips and have the orchids go back in them. I did something a little bit different to how I usually put the holes in the pots. Now, before, if you've seen my other video, you'll see that I do it with like a pair of pliers, a candle and a hot nail, and I just kind of melt my way through it. This time I've actually drilled them, because we went out and got a decent drill, so I thought, you know what, I don't really feel like killing some brain cells with melted plastic, so I drilled them, and it took a lot less time. So if you can drill them, do that, it'll save you time. Anyway, so I'm just going to show you now what the orchids look like now that I've tidied them up, and then we can fill the pots and get them settled in. So this one is the first one. You can see it's still got a good root structure. I can't remember if I showed you this before I stopped filming, but I'm showing you anyway. So here it is. The roots are still relatively in good shape. So I have high hopes for the recovery of this one, and this one here, which is the second one. It's still got a little bit of, just gonna dry that a little bit. Still got some of that bug treatment on it, but now they should be okay for pests, and any bad bits on the roots have been taken off. So this is the second leg. Still see his leaf is a little wet from the product, but yeah, it's all good. He doesn't have as many roots. I had to take a lot more off of this. Oh, in fact, this one actually feels a bit mushy, so I think I'm going to take that one off before it rots. There we go. And yeah, but I think both orchids have a very good chance of recovery. I think I caught them before they were literally knocking on death's door. They weren't far off, but I think, judging by what I've got to work with, if all goes well, I think these ones are success stories waiting to happen. So let's get. I can't actually remember which one came out of what pot, but yeah, hell with it. I should have made a note of it, but I didn't. So put the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. My trusty bucket of chips. Just putting a little bit, as I usually do, get in the orchid and just placing them in like that. So I'm just going to hit pause while I do this. I'm sure you don't want to watch me do this all over again. And then we'll be back to show you what they look like in their new pots in a minute. Okay, so the orchids have been potted up. I don't know if you can see this, but so there's the one that had most roots. You can see he's nicely in there. I'm actually going to wait a couple of days before I water him. I'm going to give him a water on the weekend. It's now Wednesday, so on Saturday I'm going to give them water because I actually did have to make a lot of cuts to the roots, so I want to wait for them to callus over and they can sit in these dry chips, and then I'm going to give them a good dose of water and fertilizer, and hopefully they can then go on their way and start recovering and being beautiful again. So yeah, there they are. And of course, like always, I will keep you updated when something exciting happens with them. As always, thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.